Now then, people, welcome back to another edition of the White Rose Rivals pod. Our roving reporter was here a second ago, but he's gone to try sort out some Wi-Fi. I want you to try guess in the chat where Cossie's calling in from this week, and the winner gets a thumbs up from the gang. We'll just do that for you, mate, if you get it right. Oh, yeah. How is everyone? All good? Is everyone good?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good. I'm glad. We were going to start with Huddersfield this week, because obviously they're on the back of two shocking losses against Northampton and Blackpool. So it might be crisis stations for them. But because Cossie's not here, let's start with Tom and Hull City, because you got your first win of the season. You started to score goals. So go on, talk to us.
Obviously, it's typical. It's the only game that I've not watched this season because I was out. But what I can say is the first half was horrendous. It was like the previous other games that we've lost and drawn and not really looked convincing. The second half, it just clicked. We brought on Slater and Simmons at half time, and then everything just sort of clicked into place. Obviously, Casey Palmer scored a rebound from penalty, and Slater scored as well. And we just looked like more convincing. I'm pretty sure. It feels like maybe what he said at half time, like where it's wonders really, and hopefully we can take that into the game against Cardiff on Saturday. But yeah, we just signed a striker today as well, João Pedro. Unfortunately, not the one from Brighton, but you know.
Oh, he's injured. He's injured anyway, isn't he? So probably the only chance you'll get of getting him. Why have you got him then on a free, pal? Or?
On a free transfer, yeah.
Where's he from? Like, do you know?
I think he last played in Brazil and the Turkish league, so you can see why we've got him, because obviously Adrian's out Turkish learner. So
yeah. Do you know I watched you against Sheffield United. Now, I thought you looked pretty decent in the first half. I know you got beat, but I actually liked the patterns of play in terms of playing it out from the back. It's just when you got to the final third, it went to shit. But you can see what the manager's trying to do, and I think if you give him time, I think it'll eventually click.
Yeah, because obviously Sam was on last week, and I'm pretty sure he'd have probably said what I'd have said as well. Like he was very disappointed. Like it was probably like in a bit of a crisis, to be fair, because of what we watched. But it was much better against Stoke. But yeah, I was coming away from that Sheffield United game down in the dumps, to be honest. Like after what I watched.
Yeah. Are you worried about Cardiff then, mate? Because obviously we beat them last weekend. They were absolutely woeful. Now Errol Bullett's been sacked. They've got some decent players, to be fair to them. It's just obviously weren't working. Do you think? Have they got a new gaffer in yet? Do you know before the weekend?
I'm not too sure, to be fair, but you choose one of them where it can work one or two ways. Like if
new manager bounce, mate. New manager bounce.
Usually if it's an interim manager, usually gets a win from the off. But hopefully we can do the job on them. But I'm not going to go into the game complacent because it's only one win against Stoke, and they're not really a great side, to be honest. So.
You can, because to be fair, you can go to Cardiff and have 79% possession of the football, create loads of chances, only score 2 goals, and still want your manager sacked, apparently, according to some fans of Leeds United. So you need to be winning 5 or 6, mate, otherwise you'll be saying, get him out!
I'll take a 1-0 win, mate, to be honest. That was it.
Yeah, exactly. This is the mad thing, like with Leeds United going to Cardiff. Before Farker came in, we hadn't won in 7. And then Farker's come in and we've beat them twice. So it's 2 wins in 9. Notoriously a tough place to go for Leeds, and a 2-0 convincing win. It's not good enough for some fans, unfortunately, right now. I don't get
that, though, because it's the Championship of Division where as long as you get them results, obviously the performance matters most of the time, but if you scrape into 1 or 2-0 wins, like who cares? Like what people expect too much.
Yeah, I think Bielsa's ruined football for Leeds United fans, unfortunately. Bilbao fans used to warn us and say we're Bielsa widows, nothing will ever compare, and I feel that's what we're stuck in. Because everybody wants liquid football 100% of the time, and unfortunately it's not. And do you know what? I did a video looking back at the same period, the year we got promoted, and I watched and commented over myself after Swansea 1-0 loss and after Charlton 1-0 loss. And the fans were saying exactly the same thing. So it was like a video as if to say, look, we've been here before. Yes, you might not win every game fucking 4-5-0, but you will have to grind some out, as it were, because teams are gonna park the bus against us because 9 times out of 10, we're going to be the better side going into the game. Unless, of course, we're playing maybe the Blades. Hal, what do you reckon? Good side, eh?
Yeah, Chris Wilder's interestingly saying today that he doesn't care where the goals come from because a lot of fans are divided on Kiefer Moore. I just wondered what you guys think of Kiefer Moore. I know we've spoken about him a little bit before, but Blades fans very much 50-50. Some people really can't stand him.
Really? What's the basis for not standing him? Because he's not scoring?
Yeah, he's not really scoring. Like some people like strikers that score goals, and Wilder's has said exactly that. You know, he doesn't care where the goals come from as long as we win. You know, for me, Kiefer Moore does the boring things really well and the exciting things really badly.
I hear you, mate. We've had to put up with it with Bamford, obviously, for so long, because like people, I think I've started calling them G&A merchants now in my chat, because if a striker hasn't scored, he's had a poor game. Pirro's come off the bench twice now and scored, and people are saying we should start him, yet forgetting Joseph's had 4 goal involvements, 3 of them being assists, and he's having to occupy defenders and sort of loosening them up for when Pirro comes on in the 70th minute. And then obviously there's loads of space because he's run them ragged for 70 minutes. But hey ho.
Yeah, Joe, people watch football in a different way. You know, younger people that grew up with that whole argument about, who's better, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Haaland, they're just seeing strikers that score stupid amount of goals. And then there's old school fans who recognise that a striker that can do the hold-up work, the flick-ons, support your big man, little man combo, you know, things like that. And there is this whole generation, certainly on Twitter, very vocal about if a striker doesn't score goals.
I think it's the fun. That prime back is more than anything brought back like memories of like when football was great to watch. I felt now it's just like when you're seeing like teams in League Two trying to put out from the back, you're thinking what they're trying here. Like just play to your strengths. Like, and that's where a lot of teams go wrong and a lot of managers go wrong. They're trying to adhere to a certain style when I'd rather just see like a crouch and defer partnership up front, like back in the day.
Well, if you're playing Celebrity Squares, I mean, Wednesday and Hull are both watching that. You're watching teams trying to play football, play out from the back, make it look pretty, but does it actually work to your strengths? Who knows? Wait and see. Long season.
Yeah. Cossey, you good?
I am, mate. Just have had to move baths. Just these big world problems because we've got no Wi-Fi, Joe. But yeah, I'm good, mate. But football team's not. But in it, we had last week. You said with a statement win at Bolton, and then if what's classed as an unstatement win and defeat, it's like it's opposite.
Do you know what? We had some guesses where you were. Some people guessed. So we had Matt Donald's in Madrid. We had Cossey's in Cavos on the Lash. We did have a Winston shout as well, which is obviously a brothel in Leeds. That was a shout.
Is it?
You know when you say the word?
I've heard that.
You know when you say the word obviously, Joe? That's doing a lot of heavy lifting there for the rest of us. I think. I'm not sure everyone knew that, but you're saying it like first name basis, usual.
I've got a private room. Just ask for the Just Your room, mate. They'll sort you out.
They will sort you out. We're right hook, mate. No. Yeah.
I'll not repeat the off-air conversation we had about 30 seconds before we went live.
Come on then, Cossey. Two losses now, mate. Is a loss away at Reading a crisis? 3 on the spin.
Definitely, mate. I think the big problem is when it's going our way, we're all right, but it's such, as Duff would say, a weak underbelly, and it's almost psychological, Joe. It's like we've pretty much been allowed to do what we want to win our games, but it was obvious the team's going to like do something different, and obviously Matt's team were the first one to kind of get at us. All right, 1 or 2 decisions, but mate, as soon as they scored Northampton, it was just like, obviously, I don't know if you saw the own goal, they were absolutely common. It were like, I think we're worse than that one that Bolton gave us the week before. And the confidence just drained, mate. But they weren't doing anything spectacular. They were just like sitting in there, kind of like knocking it over our wing back from that as well. Thank you, mate. And then just like it really just the boos were echoing around. It was almost like everyone was just
say it's really great to see your Spanish coming along.
I was just going to say this.
Look, I never get eat these. What are these though? You know,
I was waiting for you to go. Gracias, senor.
Well,
gracias.
I wondered if you hadn't been on.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Mate, that's not a top embedded arm. You know it. Oh my mate. Yeah. No, and then they get a second goal, another people not tracking back and stuff, and we're booed off at half time. And you're thinking it's just like last season, and second half, we get a third, which had kind of right back, like so peeling for a foul on halfway, and guys 1-on-1 scores and it forced me. And then, honestly, it was shocking, and like you're just thinking, okay, is that just a bad day at the office? But again, everyone's walking out thinking, here we go again. And I just thought it would have the worst game we could have had. I think Tuesday, Steve Bruce. They had a good win at Charlton on Saturday. I just thought, obviously, Huddersfield back in the day, and they're just going to set up. These teams aren't doing anything brilliant to beat us, but honestly, the confidence, like Tuesday night, just as bad. And you may definitely, because the next two games, Reading away, Birmingham away, then it's like Barnsley at home, who obviously going well now and stuff as well. But the trouble is, Joe, I thought we were more advanced. Like, I want full banner results because we've won a lot of games where I didn't think we played well. But anytime anything goes against us, mate, there's no fight. And it's just like really bad. The crowd are so easy, quick to get on the backs, but it's just so many years of losing football. So it was a horrible place to be last Saturday. And yeah, I just had a feeling that Tuesday night we're going to go the same. And yeah, definitely a crisis, mate. And top two, you have a laugh at, yeah? Like, when you won, yeah.
Is it a horrible place to be where you are right now? Because I'm not buying that you're in Spain. You've just been given a plate of sprouts. You're speaking English. I just had to move to get better Wi-Fi. I need some proof.
It's not bad, though. Like,
oh
God,
you were supposed to spin it round, weren't it?
Yeah,
I know.
Go on, you're in Grimsby, aren't you? 100% he's in Cleethorpes.
No, mate. In Benidorm, man. Benidorm is Scarborough. It
doesn't look very warm in Benidorm, and we're getting no proof that. Oh, I can't move my phone.
It doesn't spin round though, does it? On your camera, I don't think. Or does it? No, that just turns it off, doesn't it? Oh no, hang on a second.
Set it on manually.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I was going to say you could just pick it up.
There's
no proof at all.
What else notches?
Absolutely no proof.
Listen, the tune, didn't you? What else? Yes. City going to turn it around, mate. What do you reckon? Wednesday? Are they going down or what?
I'm not asking you to film people without their permission.
Yeah, that's the point now. Delete the recording. Yeah. That could be someone's mum and dad that's still watching here.
Almost certainly.
That
didn't prove anything.
Yeah. No. It's just not good. And but there's a bit of hope in the air because there's rumours that this Reading game is going to be abandoned on Saturday, a bit like when we went to Blackpool about 10 years ago in Owen Austin. They invaded the pitch and that was it. But yeah, I think there's a big protest plan, so we might get something on Saturday. But 5 defeats out of the last 6 if you chuck them cup games in, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, the natives are restless. But Freddie Ladapo, Matt, come into my office, mate.
Has he moved yet?
Mate, does he move? Like, he couldn't trap a ball, like, horrendous. To be fair, they played him on the wing on Wednesday, Saturday, which was a bad idea, but he was right, no better, mate. But people were calling him Le Crapo. It's a bit ruthless, that, innit? But so, yeah, like this time last week, Joe, statement when you jinxed us, and now, the Dooms. But you know what, mate? Just Michael Duff reported on Tuesday night in his interview. I think he thought, wow, there's a lot more deep-rooted issues than I thought they were in that as well. The problem is you've still got a lot of them players from last season, and anything that goes against them, it's like, here we go again. But yeah, Northampton are the right away day on a Saturday, Blackpool on Tuesday, and yeah, disappointed. It's a bit of a reality check, really, and yeah, everyone's a bit down, really.
Do you think it's the mentality from last season creeping in a little bit? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough new players being brought in, and it's just like I think the crowd. I don't want to blame the crowd. Like we've just had so many years of poor football, but yeah, as soon as they scored, I mean, it was a horrendous goal. He's seen the own goal. It just like not stopping. But you're thinking, hang on a minute, it's like nice. It's 84 minutes to come back here, but just nothing. And the midfield really, really poor. Ben Wiles, Mark has gone back hiding again, maybe. Done nothing. But yeah, just as wing backs are the key to the trouble is you won't change his 3-5-2, mate. It's like the wing backs are really, really poor. One of them's injured. That Mikel Miller, you had that, and then. Yeah, we've just got Jim Headley who's really poor, and yeah, it's not good, man. But obviously, this time last week, but I have to say, a lot of us want. We haven't played well for many of the games, but we've ground out results, which we're thinking is okay. But someone said in our previous show, we'll finish 10th, like at the start of the season, and now we're like, what? Like it says, mate, this is a long-term thing. This is going to take time, and that's not what I want to hear. But as obviously, you know, Ash, it's not easy getting out of that division straight up. Isn't it? Did you get straight up Sheffield United. I can't remember if you. No, you came up for.
Well, we did when we went down.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? I can't remember that when Wilder did. He took them up straight up. He did, didn't it?
Well, Wilder did, but
you have
we
two
were in
seasons.
We were in League One for a long time. We had just had Nigel Adkins mess things up before that.
Yeah.
So it felt like what was it, 6 years? I think something like that.
Are you too concerned? I mean, I don't know if Matt needs to be concerned of what's going on at the top end of the table right now, to be fair, but
It's not there, not said a word, has it, old Matt?
Joe's won a game, hasn't he?
Are you too concerned about Wrexham and Birmingham just running away with it though?
Birmingham, yeah.
Birmingham,
Yeah. They look like
it's
it's
a showing. Yeah, they were
Everything they need
I
to
was posh today. I bought that newspaper. What's it called? I've never bought a newspaper for years. I thought I'd get one like on the flight. And a big article about Birmingham. And basically, we're just saying, it's almost like they don't give a shit about financial fair play. They'll cross that bridge when they come to it. Because even at Christmas, right, if they were without a striker, they'll sign someone for 10 million. Apparently, they've the guys. 15 million is in it at a record championship signing as well.
Yeah,
even,
it's massive.
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of their fans, they've had some miserable years though, haven't they, Birmingham? I'm not a big fan of their club, but it's just so disappointing, really. But, in championship, you can kind of pick, you're getting beat with good teams like, obviously when you give us a thrashing last year, Joe, you think fair enough quality teams, but yeah, but Northampton did a job, but they look good, to be fair, mate. But this is what teams are going to do at Huddersfield. They're going to sit in and captains up breaks.
Yeah.
But it's Michael Duff. I think he's probably gone home thinking, shit, this is a bigger job than I thought as well. And Reading away, Birmingham away, and Barnsley. Oh, not just before international break. After that, it gets a bit easier. But it's like
League One, three at the backs, it's quite hard to play. I think. Wing backs, you have to have really good wing backs, and usually at that level. It's hard to find someone like quality, do you know what I mean? So
we've got slow, but see, like Tom Lee's obviously slow. He did the ACL last year, so Ellick not fastest. You've got it's disappointing, but it's honestly Tuesday night was such a big game because I just thought, what character have we got after getting absolutely embarrassed by Northampton and there were none, and it's just like, how do you get character? You have to change the players January and all this stuff. But I just thought the Dapo thing summed up where we are. Just a panic buy. Panic signing, no need for it. I'm sure Michael. And then they told us that, we've been tracking him all summer. That's just bollocks. If you're tracking him all summer, why didn't you sign him in the summer so he could have pre-season? I said, panic, man. Someone's trying to fool you. Our director of football has been horrendous. We're at Stoke. They kind of went down under him, and look where they are now. And Huddersfield, just terrible signings. But yeah, I feel sorry for Duff. But why is it always a manager gets blamed for everything?
Yeah,
how many managers we had? I'm sick of hearing about it, but it's just modern day football, isn't it? But yeah.
Give us a score prediction for Reading then.
I don't think the game's going to finish. People say it's going to be abandoned, but that'll do for me. Abandoned after 62 minutes. But no, we're all right away. To be fair, we're all right away. We're all right away. But yeah, confidence is low. You'll probably change a few players. Maybe 1-1, but we don't draw. We just win or lose. We're losing loads at the moment.
Let's stick with League One then, Matt. We'll come to you, mate. I didn't expect you to be laying in 21st. I know it's still early. Obviously, Birmingham's a tough place to go. Away at Shrewsbury, you were in 23rd. Is it an early 6-pointer? Early relegation 6-pointer?
It's not quite that, but it's time to start picking up points. We've got Shrewsbury next to a 23rd, Cambridge to a 24th, and then Reading next Saturday. So these are games that if we don't probably go unbeaten in those three games, the questions have got to start being asked because we're not playing very well. We lost to Birmingham. Birmingham are a really, really good team.
Evan said they're the best championship team the best League One team that's ever been, Birmingham. When you say that's pretty shot, you're just deflecting it. Yeah. Yeah,
look, Birmingham were very, very good. They've got everything they need. They're really, really good on the ball. They're a team full of giants. They've got Jay Stansfield, Alfie May. They're brilliant. They're very, 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 very good. But it's the same as when you play Southampton last season at Championship. What you've got to do when you play Southampton is disrupt them. You've got to make life difficult for them. You've got to either sit deep and make it difficult or press them really high. What Steve Evans decided to do was take a man out of the middle so Birmingham had more space to play with in the middle. And they absolutely tore us apart. It was just tactically, just bollocks, just complete bollocks. And I don't really understand what his plan is at the minute. He said after the game that we got booed because we were terrible, and he said after the game that I don't expect our fans to understand how good a team Birmingham are. Well, I've got a pretty good idea that Birmingham spent 15 million quid on one player and all this. We've got a pretty good idea. So any credit Eric Mankey's quickly losing, which is a surprise with Steve Evans because he's normally quite good with fans. He's only quite good at keeping them on side.
Giving it all that. He loves that, doesn't he? He's mentioned how many times he might leave more. He used to do it all the time, man, at Leeds. And then he'd do the pretend one where he'd go, hey! Like, fuck off. Chelino made him trim right down as well, you know. Chelino put him on a diet. He got so slim. Anyway,
I don't know think about Everton. Sorry, let me go about Everton. He always talks about like Michael. He talks other managers of first name terms, and I bet they all think he's an absolute weapon. Like Michael, and Michael and this and that. It's like, mate, I bet they don't even want to speak to you. I'll shake their hand. Every manager hates you, man.
What about under the cosh when he had shit up his back? I'll never forget that, man.
I've heard that from a few people that covered over
He came out, for those that don't know, he comes out at toilet on team bus and he had shit all up his back from the top. That's a manager. How are you? He's going, come on, lads. I'd be like, fuck off, man. You've shut, you said. Oh, God. Sorry, Matt. There you go.
Sorry, mate. This is a big, serious debate football show.
We're 2 or 3 games away from being under pressure. Basically, if we're 690 days Saturday since our last away win, so another chance to break that. We're away again Tuesday as well, so again there's another chance. You'll want to go back 3 or 4 days.
2 years.
2 years in November it'll be.
Do you still get, like, obviously over time as the away attendance has dropped as well because of that, or do people like? I
would have thought so. I haven't checked, to be honest with you. I'd be amazed if our away following last season wasn't great. It's not pretty good in the Championship. It weren't great at all. It was only 600 sold for Saturday. I know Shrewsbury a couple of hours away, but still, they're a rubbish team. It is a chance. It's a good chance.
Of course,
You kind of expect fans to turn up, but we drew 2 to Burton last week and obviously lost to Birmingham. Fans are just fed up back teeth of this football. It's been like watching us last season, and teams aren't as good, obviously, in League One. It's such a tough watch at minute.
You're not worried about. I was winding up, obviously, but you're not worried about going down or like that.
No, definitely not. No, the issue is obviously trying to chase. We're 10 points off second already, and we're only not even in October. A win when you're sitting in 12th or something like that, so you're back in kind of contention for the playoffs and things like that. But there's so many questions about. I don't know what our setup is. I don't know what our best players are. The players he's playing aren't actually that good.
Is Hugo still there?
He is, but we've been playing Johnson Clark-Harris, who isn't fit. Steve Evans has said he isn't. Johnson Clark-Harris isn't fully fit, but he's choosing Clark-Harris over Jordan Hugo, which is a bit of a waste of time. Clark-Harris doesn't ult ball up, he doesn't run, and he hasn't had a shot really. So he only
says a lot for Hugo, doesn't it? The fact that
exactly.
Matt, is Steve Evans playing the same style or same sort of football than the first, like when he was previously at Rotherham? Or is it the same? So you knew what to expect, or has he progressed into a different sort of style?
Oh, it's certainly not progressed. No, it's certainly not progressed. I think it's meant to be the same, but he hasn't got the players to do it. So last time we had Ben Pringle, an amazing left foot. You had Alex Ravello who could run all day long, and Billy Freckleton, all these really good players who were quite good technically, and they carried the team through. This time, these players look like they've got no personality. There's no real leaders in that team, which is weird. Bear in mind the players he's signed. And I think he's underestimating the job with what Chris said about Huddersfield. Same with the hangover from last season, he's real. And I don't think Steve Evans, I think he's kind of ignoring that. I think we don't understand how frustrated we are as fans that we've had to go through the shit we've had to go over the last 18 months. And he's kind of just assuming that everything's great and, I'm going to do this crowd thing and I'm going to name drop Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm going to keep telling every Chris Wilder's best name. It's not good.
Not to do with any of our teams, but did you see all them FC20 fans in City Ground on Tuesday night singing their own songs? It was hilarious. Did you not see that?
It. No.
Yeah, there were like 100 fans in one side and 100 fans in the other. They were singing FC20 and it was Man City playing it. Cup. It was so funny.
Watford,
took 4,000 fans, didn't they? Unbelievable, like biggest following I ever took. But yeah, love that, mate.
Good. I love Man United not winning, so that's all good for me. Sean says there's only one team in Yorkshire, it's the mighty Leeds. Any response to that, lads? Anyone got any thoughts?
It's geographically incorrect.
The league table doesn't lie, Sean. The league table doesn't lie, mate. You're right.
Shut up, Cosy.
Ash, come on then. We'll have to speak to you now, mate.
How long does it take? How many weeks have we done?
Ash. You were winning and all. I was thinking I've got my prediction wrong, and then you fucked it up, Ash. I knew it, mate.
Wow. Cosy, you're obviously because you're not in Spain. You watch the language. All those people in Cleethorpes, they know what you're saying. You're dropping some real big F-bombs.
Mariners.
It's not looking good, is it, Ash? Obviously, 22nd in the league. You got beat by Luton, which is a tough place to go. They were always going to eventually start picking up results, but it's not getting easier for you. You're away at West Brom this weekend and home. Sorry, you're home. But they're flying under Corberan. I think are they top of the league or second? I think they might be top.
Yeah.
What's going on at your place, mate? Because obviously, I think, me and I know a lot of other people thought, Danny Roll now, pre-season, players in, they're going to climb up the league. Yeah.
Season,
yeah. It's obviously early days. Saturday was massive improvement. I know it's a 2-1 loss, but we were, we were the better team for large portions of that game. Went 1-0 up, good goal by Bannon, and then we gave away a bit of a penalty. And if anyone's seen the replays and anything, I don't know where your thoughts are on that. If the ball hit Deschamps Bernard on the shoulder, and red card, penalty, and then from then obviously it's uphill battle against 10 men against Luton. But yeah, it was a much better performance. We were on top for large portions of that game. It was a great, obviously the disappointment from the week before against QPR and the rugby scrum 96-minute equaliser they got. Those two games after Millwall previously and Sunderland and Leeds, it's been much improved. And if you look at the table, I know we're in familiar surroundings, but there's no sort of panic or anything. I know you said, Joe, about Leeds United fans because you only won 2-0. I mean, I'll take a 2-0 all day. But there is no question in the minute on social and people I've spoke to about Danny Rule's position. It's getting better. But you're right. We've got West Brom, who are top of the league. We've got Bristol City away. And then we've got Coventry. They're the 3 games before the break. And you're looking, we've got to get 4 points minimum from them next 3 games.
Are you concerned at all that because I think regardless of how the form is right now, you've just got to leave him to it. Because I think if you leave him to it, he will keep you up, won't he? Do you know what I mean? But are you concerned of the owner at all? Maybe expecting more? Because I know under Darren Moore, he was talking about fucking going up and that, wasn't he? He was a bit of a madman. So
you tell me about my owner.
Yeah,
no one knows. No one has got a unpredictable prick that he is. You can't think. You would hope sense is he doesn't act on sense a lot of the times, but you would think over the good feeling that he got from appointing Danny Rule and what happened, then he has got a lot of favour in the bank. He is, even when he came last season, and I know he's been here nearly a year now. Even when it was a slow start, so we've had a slow start now. But what we've seen over the last 2 games has been a marked improvement in the style of play.
It's not as slow as last year under Moore, was it? Do you remember? No. Fucking hell, man! It were brutal last year.
Yeah, the year before.
Under Moore when you started the season. Bloody hell.
It's we've said the Millwall game is one we were looking at them roundabout us, and QPR as well. So we've played some good teams, like I say, Leeds, Sunderland, and Luton. So there's no concerns at all at the minute. I know you can't really look at the table till later on in the season anyway.
Hillsborough's still a fortress, though, isn't it? Outside of the Leeds results, do well, and that's not me. Just
yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, beat Plymouth start of the season, and QPR it was a much better improvement. But yeah, it is. You do look at that, don't you? If you're going to be a team that's going to be mid-table, bottom half of the table, your home form is going to be key. And
I think you get a point against West Brom. I think you'll get a draw against West Brom this weekend.
I would take a draw. Like I said, they're flying. They're playing some good stuff. I think it's scored 18 and only conceded 2 or something daft like that in their games. So yeah, I'd take that, mate.
Yeah, I think you'll draw. I want to draw anyway because fucking hell, I just need some teams at the top to start losing so Leeds fans can chill out a little bit because everyone above us is running away with it. Every time they get a win, it's like they're gonna run away with it. Fucking relax, will you? And a team that is above us, Sheffield United, 1-0 win against Derby. If I remember right, you left it quite late. Talk to me about that game. And you've got Portsmouth next, I believe.
Yeah, decent one. Another game where I feel like once it starts clicking at the top end, we could look unstoppable, could be really dangerous, but it's not clicking yet, and we're going to give someone a hiding. And you know what? We're facing Portsmouth, right? We haven't lost a game. Portsmouth haven't won a game. What's going to happen? I mean, it's at Fratton Park. It surely should have been on telly. This one, it's got all the recipe and the makeup for a really exciting tussle. I'm surprised it hasn't been chosen for TV, but we'll see what happens. I think Portsmouth could be a bit of a dark horse. I'm certainly not counting any chickens. This is going to be a tough match.
Yeah. What about Derby? How was that? Obviously, did you scrape it or was it a comfortable 1-0?
No, we didn't scrape it. It was very similar to the Watford game where we had a couple of scares from them, but really I felt quite confident. And Michael Cooper's still not really had anything to do in goal, and we're saying we feel safe with him there, but that's really just because of his air, his presence. He hasn't actually had to do anything. So no, we look defensively proper sound. I'm really impressed. We've gone from the team that conceded the most goals in the universe last season to a team that could have the best defensive record in any league come the end of this season. It feels like we're going that way. And I don't know how Jack Robinson, player of the season last season, gets back into this team now that Harry Suter and Anel Ahmedhodzic are the 2 centre-backs in that back 4. They look absolutely rock solid.
Talk to me about Arblaster, because I read he might be out for a while. Is this true? And if it is, I was rubbing my hands gleefully a little bit. I can't lie.
Well, don't rub them too gleefully because Sheffield United have quality youth players. It's the Sheffield United way. And we've got quality youth coming through, and Sidney Peck is another one. And he just stepped in seamlessly into Arblaster's shoes. And, there's even more on the conveyor belt coming after if Peck was to get injured, God forbid. So we don't know how long Arblaster's going to be out injured for. And I'm a bit hurt in terms of Paul Heckingbottom used to lie to the fans in press conferences. And we now don't know what to believe. So when Wilder says, it could just be a couple of weeks, we're speculating that's a couple of months because we just don't know. Because Hecky would say, so-and-so will be back this weekend. And then you find out they're out for the rest of the season. So we just don't know anymore. And no one's actually saying. There's been rumours online from some reliable sources that it's 4 to 6 weeks, but we shall see.
Yeah, that he might miss the Leeds Sheffield United game if that's true. So we shall see because he's a handy player. Is that the Peck that was linked to your place, Matt? You mentioned Peck, I believe, in the summer.
Want to keep an eye out. This has worked out well. Obviously, if it's one of to us, then might be in trouble. So it's a shame we didn't get him because we could have done with a good player.
I mean, in my opinion, he was man of the match against Derby. So yeah, he would have been really good for you, and I'm just so glad that we've kept him because that's it. We've got a very thin squad, and injuries is probably going to be the biggest talking point of the season for us. And if we get injury up top, and we have to rely on Ryan Brewster, my God.
That was the chat after our presser because Solomon's injured, Strouk might be missing, Firpo had a knock, Bamford again missed training. There was more. Yeah, there's quite a few issues at our place at the minute, so hopefully we'll come through that. The Solomon one, I want it to go well so much, but yeah, he had injuries at Spurs, at Fulham, and obviously that's why we've got him. And it was a back last week, and now it's his hamstring. So I don't know if it's I don't know. It's gone from his back to his hamstring. It must be contagious, apparently. But hey ho, it is what it is. We've got to use what we've got, which is more than enough, because Ramazani got his debut goal last week. He looked quality, and Pirro came off the bench. And listen, I think he would start in the majority of Championship teams. So the fact we're bringing him off the bench is huge. I'm actually quite nervous about the Coventry result, because Mark Robins did a job on us last season in terms of we only got a point off them. They got a point at Elland Road and they beat us down at their place. So even though they haven't started great, and there's a lot of, I mean, I wanted to get your opinion on this, lads, because it's sounding like Robins might be in a bit of trouble from the fan base anyway, at least, because they've spent a lot of money. They've started poorly again. Do you think that would be wise? I mean, I think it's a bit wild, personally.
Must have listened to us last week.
Yeah.
I'm sure we talked about Robins had got a lot of equity in, and what he'd done for that club. He's been there 9 seasons, I think it is now. Is nothing short of pretty outstanding. So for him to see the pressure on him, it's fickle, isn't it?
Well, you're spot on, Ash. In fact, I mentioned it last week. I remember the first comment was about there's no way. And Robins is a really good manager. And he has got a lot of credit in the bank, but this is football. And, there comes a time for every manager. And you'd have said, Chelsea fans would have said, you know what, there's no way we'll ever see the day where we don't want Jose Mourinho. There was a time when they would all have said that, every single to a man. And it changes. And you know what? You won't find too many blades that don't love Chris Wilder. But there'll come a day.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what it reminds me, though, like managers being, they're like, Victor Gyökeres, mate. He got unbelievable, lost all them goals, didn't he? And replaced it with, a lot downgraded striker, in my opinion, Ellis Sims. And it's and still last season did well, but it's just thinking Duff's under pressure, X is under pressure. It's like them players I know it's easy to change one man rather than everyone else, but it just gets so boring. Like Ten Hag, the back's him now, he's got to go. And honestly, it must be the only job, where, in your jobs, it's if you do your job bad, you get managed out, don't you? But I know you can't do it in football, but only the one man that goes, doesn't it? It's Wednesday don't win next 2, it's Sanserio probably push Rowe out. And it's just ridiculous after what he did last season. But I don't know when it's come. My always used to, back in the day, you used to look at Spain being stupid with the sackings of managerials, the presidents and all that. He used to pull the plug you're thinking, that is mad. England words now. Just the same. It's stupid, isn't it? There's no. Yeah. Everyone thinks they can do a better job. Yeah.
You should see what it's like in Cyprus. It's absolutely mad. Managers get days, and then it's very similar to Italy, and Spain. They'll hire the same manager back because they're still paying him. They keep a tally. There's a really good podcast that I listen to here called This Is Mapper, and they keep a tally each season of how many managerial sackings. They do a little bet at the start. I think we've only had a few match days here because it starts late, and there's already been 6. So it's just crazy.
The mentality.
By the way, Chris Coleman is out here, by the way, if anyone's interested managing IL Limassol. So if you're going to keep a little eye on that, he's doing very well.
He's missed this one on Sky Sports News. Remember back in the day? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, last week I took a guy to task, an older guy next to me, bloody rubbish stuff after that own goal went in. So, there's 2 grown men there, 34 years old. Just one's passed the keeper into the goal. What is he supposed to do about that manager? Well, he picks the bloody team. Me and this other lad were mate, you're having my eyes out, yeah. But it's his team. So I said, all right, mate. At 2:58, it's right, come on, mate. You're experienced Polish centre out. Just scored an own goal, mate. Come on. That'll do, won't it? Everything's manager playing with them. He just does my head in, man. Managers. Why can't people just be kind about stuff? And it just depresses me hearing about that Mark Robins. Because they'll say, he's come as far as he can go. But I know you mentioned Kirbysley last week, didn't you? That's always your classic, innit? What can go wrong? But it's just show some faith and fuck. Surely he's got a bit of credit in the bank, but
he hasn't. He hasn't.
I bet it's a 50-50.
No,
honestly, it's mad.
That poor couple on next table having a coffee, just a cosy shouting at him. He's got no goal, you damn Polish centre half.
She's turning to husband going, come out, you said. You've lost.
Imagine that sat there eating your dinner. You're just doing it there.
Come out, you said. We never go out anymore, you said. It'll be romantic, you said. Some bird from Huddersfield.
I just want to
shouting his head off.
Eating his sprouts. He's farting now. He's farting. He's going on about the Polish and farting.
Close his t-shirt.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Hull City have won a game. I noticed we haven't even.
We did. We
last mate.
Before you came on,
we did it.
First, all right.
Yeah, we did it. We did it before you came on, but yeah. Leeds won against Coventry 1-0, but that won't be enough for some sections of the fans, unfortunately. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Boys, I've got a midweek program next week.
Yes, yeah.
Who are you playing? Who's everyone playing?
About that. We got Norwich away, who started all right, I think, under their new gaffer.
Norwich away Tuesday night. Cheers, EFL.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We're coming up to these midweekers, aren't we? We've got Swansea on the Wednesday night, and it's going to get. I think it is.
It's
for me now.
It's at home.
Even that.
Yeah.
For me now, it doesn't matter so much. I'm not going. But I'll look into that before I do the preview. But yeah, I don't always like the midweek games. Certainly not on a Wednesday. And we always play Swansea on a midweek, and we haven't got like a rivalry with them. I don't really get it.
We're same with Bristol City. We've got Bristol City away.
We always play QPR midweek as well for some reason. Always away as well.
It's weird. It's weird how they come up with it. Putting fans all the way. I know for midweek they should try and get at least an hour and a half max.
Oh yeah, Swansea's a long way, and as you've probably seen that, our derby match in 10th of November is that's Remembrance Sunday, and I'm just going to say my opinion here. I don't think football should be played on Remembrance Sunday. That should be a day for remembrance. And yet here we are. If you want to lay a wreath in the morning, you're going to have to absolutely leg it across the city to try and get to a very early kickoff. I know it's been moved half an hour. That's not going to make any difference. Not going to make any difference. I think it's a disgrace.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you on that one.
But can I get your opinion on early pace setters West Brom and Sunderland? Do you lads do you think they've got staying power in them? I almost feel they're at full tilt right now, and eventually they will start to drop.
I think you look at the squad. I think you've got a manager in Corban there that knows the squad well. It's been together for a few years now. They've added a few good additions. Josh Madras firing goals. I think they'll be in and around it, and then I think Sunderland might drop off a bit, but I still see them probably getting in playoffs.
I think they've spent some money, Sunderland, like you were saying, Ash, when they blew you out of the water, with Pavida. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Pavida. Just like, but they played some nice football. They're good to watch. They were really good, I thought, against Middlesbrough last week. And that was a big game. That I thought it were almost like North-East. I don't know. Did they call it a derby? I know there's always
Borough. I used to live in Middlesbrough. They don't know their ass from their elbow because they've got a Yorkshire derby with Leeds, and then according to them anyway, not with us. And then they have like a North-East derby that Sunderland go, they're Yorkshire. So they just, they ain't got no identity, the Borough.
What's that man? Regis Lebris, I think it's got right name.
I was Aaron Conley Sunderland as well.
Right.
Their front three is as good as all. It's great to watch. I just think they're enjoying the football. How many season card holders have got? It's not mad, isn't it? Like, I don't know, but like you say, it could be a boom and bust thing, but it's hard to, I think, know at the moment and stuff who's going to be there. But I know, just the thing is,
because this time last year, Preston were up there, weren't they? Preston, and they nearly got bloody relegated, man.
Preston will never get relegated, and they'll never get promoted. They will finish 12th every single season.
Bristol City's that team as well.
Yeah.
Did you read that article in paper this week? It mentioned exactly that out. So
because you bought one paper and you keep going on about it.
Mate, I can read it, but basically they were saying that for a fan, even going down, it's good to have jeopardy. Preston have had the worst. I've had the most nothing of any clubs in like English football. And
but you could argue Everton, because I remember Preston at least playing Watford at Wembley and having a playoff. And Everton, that's a team that you could argue have done very little, certainly no relegation in my life, but they have at least had a cup final. And then you're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe if you support Rochdale or something, there's probably not that much excitement. But yeah, you're right. It's actually more exciting to go through the leagues, as many of us can agree.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Give me a decade of mid-table in the Premier League. I can't lie to you. I'll take it, though. I swear to God.
Isn't it?
because he's right. Once you get there, you won't. This is exactly what we were talking about
No.
last week. They get bored. The Charlton fans with Kirbishley, that's boring.
Yeah.
Mid-table every season. I want Europe. Well, look at them now.
Yeah, true. That is true. Graham has put. He said, "I think West Brom will be there or thereabouts. The point we got doesn't seem that bad, Joe. No, probably doesn't, mate. Listen, I think we're done, aren't we? I think we're done. Has anyone got anything else they would like to share from the podcast?
No,
or
just
an
last week.
anecdote?
Rodriguez knackered, and it's just too many games, guys. How can City play Sunday and Tuesday? Just cut off the games. There's too many games of football, man.
You're
I
right.
don't agree.
There are too many
Joe,
games.
I know
of
you'll be
football.
out of business, but mate, honestly, it's just
No, I don't have
like,
sympathy for him. I don't have sympathy for him, man.
I thought it was Champions League that had that stupid table, but now Europa League's got one as well. Did you see it last night? What's going on?
I don't mind it.
Is that not a thing for the club?
You've got 25th or something, yeah.
You've got 23, 25 players in your squad. Rotation. You build a squad. You don't just have a first 11, 12, 13. So then you spend your money. You've got to rotate. So I think it's more of, I thought it would have suited Man City more than a team like Fulham or something like that, because Man City have got the funds to spread out their squad over 23, 25 players, whereas you've got maybe 18, 17 that you're going to want to really play a first team, a lower Premier League team. So
it's a good point, Ash, though, because did you see Arsenal's starting team last night? I could not believe it. I don't know what it ended up at, with that, obviously that 16-year-old keeper, but Jesus Christ, it was like nearly as good as, well, not as good as Sunners, but it was so strong. So, like you said, it's just exactly what you've said there, mate. And it's like
there's that Club World Cup as well, isn't there? That's what's causing the problem. That Club World Cup in the summer, isn't it, as well? So that's what's I think they're kicking off about. But they can say all they want, right? They can say all they want, but Newcastle and all these clubs went straight out to China as soon as the season finished. They went straight out to China, went out to Middle East, went there. So they get fuck off. If the players should be complaining to your clubs, because they're the ones that are fucking. Like this Club World Cup. Apparently the clubs will get massive amounts of money, but they won't.
Yeah, but Joe, that's the players. People above, though, mate. It's like Mbappe's injured. Rodgers injured. I want to watch when I'm watching like good games. I want to watch the best players, and then half of them are knackered, mate. Now I know people are going to be shouting at me and say, "Oh, should be working in a factory and all that." But it's like, mate, honestly, I just think.
Hey, Cozzy, you just need to look at the players that didn't play in the summer. Like Salah, that they're fresh and they're playing really, really well.
Look at Haaland. Haaland looks a different animal, doesn't he? Yeah, that's
I
true.
can't believe it. If you look ball at someone and they're like, "Oh, there's going to be no action." I mean, Jesus Christ, is that class is like?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant, man. People calling him a coward and that, but I thought, it felt like a bygone era, that game. To be honest, I enjoyed it, man. Yeah, it was good.
It felt like Arsenal, Man U.
Yeah, exactly. Sick of that Liverpool City. Oh yeah, we respect each other. Fuck off, man. I want tackles. It's true though. It's true. Like, did you see Haaland after the game having a go at Arteta and then saying to Jesus, "What? Feck off, you clown!" and that. He's born in Yorkshire. That's why he was born in Leeds.
I've got to say that the clown is one of my favourite put downs, and I try and use it on a daily basis. I did just want to talk about. So first of all, my thoughts on too many games. It's the fans, not the players. That's my issue, because fans certainly feel. Certainly, when I was back in the UK, I had to go to every game I could. Cost a lot of money, but with Sheffield Wednesday, a lot of fans have been saying that they would have had VAR, that handball would have been overturned because, of course, it was the shoulder and handball starts under the armpit. I will just say, and Joe will probably know this as well, having experienced a lot of VAR, you do not want VAR, and don't think for 1 second that VAR get things right just because that would have been a correct decision that you've witnessed there. Other decisions go against you, and it doesn't even itself out. And trust me, if VAR comes into the Championship, I might actually be me done. Might be me.
I'll never forget the first season we're in the Premier League, and I mean, by the letter of the law, it was right. But basically, the ball had gone in. I can't remember who it was to, and Bamford pointed to where he wanted it. So I think it might have been Click or whatever, spun it round the defender, he got on the end of it, scored, and his literal arm was offside because he'd pointed. So if he hadn't pointed where he wanted it, he won. And I just thought, what the fuck are we doing here? He's basically saying to his teammate, put it there, and I'll get on the end. And because he did, I was like, nah, this is bullshit.
Joe, I remember talking to you and saying, when we finished ninth in the Prem, you guys were asking me about, what's VAR like there? And I gave you an example of one game, Brighton away, Sheffield United, right? 4 goals were scored in that game, and it finished 1-0. And it was the forensic detail on, like, you're thinking, I mean, you're going to celebrate the next goal in any game because you're going to look like an idiot because it's just going to be disallowed. And we had Tottenham, and we were celebrating, and then it was disallowed for like a toenail being offside. And then when we did score, no one celebrated because, like, well, this is bound to be disallowed. And it was George Baldock's like first ever goal in the Prem. He should have been going wild. He just gave a tiny little fist bump after it had been reviewed on a screen.
Surely it was that Villa game as well. That Villa game was
absolutely. It's gone in, you know, although that was more Hawkeye, but just the whole like joy being sapped away. The love of football is that one moment.
The Championship playoff final, we got absolutely robbed by it. They did not even go to it. So it was there, and they didn't even go to it. So frustrated. That Schalke game out last week, by the way, I was going to talk about that. They were 3-0 up and lost 5-3. What unbelievable second half. And Mandy got sacked after, but it was VAR with the other one. So an handball, so like up in the area, and then other team were going nuts. But game carried on for about 6 minutes. It wouldn't go out of play. So it was just a farce. Like, you just knew, no matter what happened here. Part of me thinks, you know, if they'd have scored, what does that... What happens there? You know, like if other teams scored, does that get cancelled out? Or it does, doesn't it? I think that's happened, hasn't it?
It happened in Premier League with Bournemouth and Burnley or something like that.
That wasn't it? Yeah. Scubbed out.
It's crazy.
It gets more right than it does wrong, though. That's what they always say, but it doesn't. You would never. But it's really weird how that we haven't got it in Championship, and I'm surprised Bundesliga too, like, got it. But yeah, it's not something you want to see.
It's where they bring it in for, like, in the cup. They brought it in when it was like a team playing a Premier League team from the Championship. Bring it.
Well, look at Coventry. Look at Coventry in the FA Cup semi against Man United, man. That was like that, and then Man United went on and fucking won it.
Yeah,
and you just
I don't think that's fair. I think it should be all or nothing. That competition.
100%.
Because you can't bring it in the semi-final. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. You either have it all the way through or not at all. Because you're right, it completely disrespects the competition. And having that, do you remember that playoff final? God, I mean, even all of them. In fact, all the playoff finals have had like a controversy in when they haven't used VAR throughout the whole season. Why do you fight the most important game? Don't mess about with what.
And then when you do have it, you don't use it.
Yeah, the two blatant ones, and then Forest benefit. I mean, I was angry for you.
Do you know the Villa thing's insane, isn't it? When actually, I know that was Hawkeye, but when you think they're now a top 4 side in Champions League, I say this
all the time, right? The difference in that decision is monumental. Sheffield United would have finished in Europe. We'd be where Villa are now. I firmly believe this. It was such a huge decision, and because we had VAR, they could have gone, hang on. Let's have a look at the screen and see if that was over the line. Oh, of course it was. It was massively over, like 2 yards. Who are we kidding? There's no fans in the stand at that point to get angry. Take your time. It was the first game back. We'd all been waiting 7 months. We can wait 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. I'm still annoyed about that. It's changed the whole trajectory and future of my club.
It has, hasn't it? Because they're basically probably get top 4 again this season. They won the Champions League game. And
people will say like, "Oh, that goal was quite early on. Things would have changed." And yeah, maybe, but maybe not. None of us know.
No, we don't.
In Spain, they've got them automated offsides. To be fair, they're working well. They're not. That's where it's.
They're bringing it in here. They're bringing it in here, but not till later on. Yeah, it is good. Yeah,
it is a good idea. And by the way, I had to do some linesman stuff the other day, and how we're still relying on humans with eyesight to call one of the most important sports in the world. It's so difficult. Like you blink.
They're a bit big and all, aren't they? How can they keep up, man?
I blinked and thought, hang on, I've just missed where he was when that ball was passed. I have no idea what to give. You can't have that. If you've got automated, go with it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think we've rambled on enough, lads. We're literally a minute before 7. Thank you all for coming on as always. And we'll be here next week, won't we? And then we've got an international break, I think. Matt, actually, will we be here? Because some of you will have had a game on the Wednesday, etc. Will that clash with anything after? No. No, all
No.
good.
We play Tuesday
Two-
next week.
Right.
We
So
don't mess around on
Matt.
Wednesday.
Matt, 2 away wins coming, mate. You'll be on, mate.
Yes.
2 away wins. Finally, you'll have
Yeah.
a week off work, mate. Book a week off. Celebrate.
Week on the latch.
Yeah. Big Steve, way.
Winston.
Go on, Joe, do it again. Big Steve celebration. It's like Hulk Hogan, isn't it?
That's a good. Oh, by the way,
I don't
if you
wanna see
haven't
his
watched,
top off, though.
no,
Yeah,
if
so-
you haven't watched the Vince McMahon thing on Netflix, it's very good. It came out today, and I watched it. It's very good. A bit of an expose. So if you're a wrestling fan, I don't know. I am. I'm 36. I don't care. I still love that shit.
You're only
what?
36.
You're
You
not
cheeky
36.
bastard.
You've never been 36. You were born
Jesus
36.
Christ.
Shut up, lad.
Tell you what, this YouTube lads are causing havoc on you, mate. Isn't it?
Back off. Right,
You need
we'll
to
end it on
relax
that
more,
note.
Joe. Relax in your gentleman's club. That's where you need to go.
I shall do. Someone called it the Ginger Dungeon earlier on. That's what you want to ask for when you go, yeah, and you'll get sorted out. Right, we'll leave it there, folks.